On my high school, it was pretty much split up. Every person was split into 6 tiers of popularity. Tier 1 was this group of 17 girls that called themselves the 17, and they had little necklaces made up that said 17, and it looked like a Jewish letter, which is awesome because they're all anti-Semitic. And they just thought they were the shit, and that was Tier 1. Tier 2 through 6, the gym teachers didn't want to fuck. So there was one morning my freshman year where I woke up with a 101-degree fever, puffy eyes, sweat dripping down my entire body, I was aching everywhere, and I got to school, and in homeroom, I had found out that my teacher had set up a homeroom date with a girls' class. I, of course, was paired up with a member of the 17, and I went up to her, dripping with sweat like I was Niagara Falls, and she was kind of confused, like looking me up and down, looking at my forehead, and she grabbed my hands and looked at me and was like, "You don't need to be this nervous around me." And I was like, that was the most condescending, bitchy thing she could have said. But it was fine. I forgave her very fast because the next day I showed up to school and my friends came up to me and said, "Dude, the 17 is now the 16 because of you." And I was like, they dropped her for talking to someone less popular than her? And then my friend was like, of course not. They dropped her for talking to a Jew. I didn't have many friends growing up. I was kind of a loner in elementary school, and so on the playground I would watch people playing these team sports that I was never included in, like football and tag and tug of war. And I wanted to make up my own game that I could play by myself, so I made up one-man tug of war. And I know you're all wondering, how the fuck do you play one-man tug of war? It's very simple. Step 1, masturbate. Step 2, you already lost because you're a fucking loser. Thank you. I have a roommate that's here tonight. There he is. His name is Drew. He's this adorable little, like, lanky, flamboyant gay kid. It's exactly what you imagine when I say that. You're the offensive one for whatever you thought. So the other night we were listening to music, and I was playing these, like, jokey 2012 pop songs like Ed Sheeran and One Republic. And he typically has a high voice, but for this he had a low voice, and he was like, "Turn this shit off, play some good stuff." And then I hit skip, and it was like Island in the Sun by Weezer, and he was like, "I fucking love this song." And I was like, oh my god, like, you love Weezer? You're talking like this? You're so straight when we listen to music. And then his voice lifted up a little bit, and he was like, "Daniel, I like Island in the Sun because it was in the movie Aquamarine." And I was like, everything is right with the world. This one's stupid, but I have the time, so I'm gonna do it. What was the protocol for catching on fire before we discovered stop, drop, and roll? Just die? Can I do a couple of really cheesy Jesus jokes for you guys real quick? Yeah! All right, number 1. A Jew walks up to a bar and they nail him to it. Number 2. People have disagreements about what Jesus looked like. Like, some people think he was white, some people think he was black. I think he could have been both. Holy cow. I like that one because it's not offensive. Like, it would have been a whole nother story if I called the Virgin Mary a holy cow. This last story takes place my junior year of high school. I'm a film production major now. I started film when I was a junior in high school, and I checked out a piece of equipment from my school that came in a slick gray briefcase. And I was walking my friend to class. It like looked so professional. I was walking my friend to class, and right as we got there, an alarm started blaring. And the teacher told us to duck inside, and we soon found out that it was an intruder drill, or not a drill, it was an intruder, and there was a potential shooter on the campus. And we were all horrified. We were texting like our parents that we loved them. We were texting our crushes, our dick pics. You just gotta get it all out. And after about 2 hours, it was revealed that a teacher had accidentally pulled the alarm, and we were all fine. And so I continued on with my day. I went to free period in the lunchroom. There were 50 to 75 people in there, and I had my briefcase, and some guy points at me and goes, "Look at his fucking briefcase, it's his fault. He obviously has a fucking gun in there." And everyone scattered, and I was so embarrassed, and like, what do? But one person was frozen still, and it was the girl from my homeroom. And I went up to her, and I slammed the briefcase down, and I looked her in the eyes, and I said, "You don't need to be nervous around me." Thank you, guys.